This is Krystal and thank you for joining me for this week's First Chapter Friday. Today I will be reading from the first chapter of Shauna Robinson's Must Love Books. Chapter 1. Would you recommend this job to a friend? The question echoed in Nora's mind as the silence ticked by. She glanced from the 22-year-old girl across from her to the resume on the table. Large, bold letters spelled out Kelly Brown at the top of the page. Nora folded and unfolded a corner of the paper as she tried to think of a response. Recommend was a strong word. There were a lot of people Nora would recommend the job to. She thought about the man on her commute that morning, dozing with his legs spread wide enough to occupy 2 seats, while Nora clutched a pole and practiced her resentful stare. She'd recommend the job to him any day. She'd recommend it like a course. But friend, that was the kicker. Nora lifted her eyes. Kelly's lips were curved in a trusting smile. She held her pen over her legal pad, ready to write down whatever tumbled out of Nora's mouth. It was nonsense, frankly, that Nora was interviewing someone. This girl was interviewing for the same job title as Nora, editorial assistant of MBB. Meaningless business bull. Not the official title, but at this point, Nora couldn't be bothered to remember the exact jargon. Either way, as a mere publishing peasant, Nora had no standing to interview a potential peer. Nora did have seniority, she supposed, looking down at the resume and seeing that Kelly graduated from college just this month, 5 years after Nora. That made 5 years of wisdom. Nora had over Kelly, in theory. Except Nora spent all those 5 years here as an editorial assistant with no promotion in sight. There was nothing wise about that. Nothing to recommend there. Not without lying, and she wasn't sure she was okay with that. Nora darted another glance Kelly's way. Kelly, by this point, was now politely looking around the room, taking interest in the blank walls, as if there was a greater chance of the beige paint answering her question before Nora did. Yes, Nora said slowly, stretching out the word as though it would precede a speech full of encouragement and experience. But now she'd kept her waiting, and it would be weird to end on her very long yes. So, speech time it was. As long as you know what you're getting yourself into, Nora continued. I mean, I've been here almost 5 years, and I love it. So she was okay with lying, apparently. But you have to be willing to adapt. Your responsibilities might change, or your title, or your boss. If you're okay with things changing on you, you should be fine, she added, wanting to end on a positive note. And that is the beginning of Must Love Books by Shauna Robinson. Please join me here in a couple of weeks as I read from the beginning of The Sea of Monsters. Thank you and have a great week.